Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer, but most of the people simply call me Jen, and I prefer that. So yeah, today I want to talk about the current education system in our society. Because the last thing I wanted was to be educated by our current society system. So yeah, I'm from Germany, so my English is not the best. I apologize for it, and I hope you keep listening to me anyway. Yeah, what you see here is what I found out. For 4 years, I was trying to find my way of education into the current system from our society. I went to a private university for a year, another year to a public education training school, and 2 years to a public university. I studied engineering, and it was a technical school, and then I started to study science and economics because I wanted to learn how to figure this life out as an entrepreneur. I'm very interested in business, economy, society. Yeah. So what you maybe need to know about me is that I was very unhappy for 10 years. I was dealing with a lot of different diseases, and yeah, I just struggle a lot. But that's how it is. So a little bit more than 2 years ago, I decided to break myself free from all the norms, all the opinions, and all the limits the society teaches us to follow and to believe in, because yeah, I wasn't able to identify myself with anything, and I felt like I had lost track completely, and it was important for me to become happy and healthy and to find my place in this society where we have millions of opportunities, options, and chances, but I just believe if you don't know who you are and where your place in this world is, you will be lost forever. Therefore, I wanted to find out what my purpose is, that I could use my passions I was kind of aware of to, walk my way in this life. Yeah, so it's 2 years ago, and yeah, this is what I found out. It's like, the human being, and what I always felt is like that I'm living in a captivity, a modern captivity, and I felt like a modern slave because we have all these opportunities and these options, but it is so overwhelming and so messy that you are distracted, and I felt disconnected and just lost, and I was very negative, so like desperate, frustrated, and anxious, and I had so many fears and doubts and struggles. And I don't believe that this life is about having fears and struggles and like worry so much. So I was like, what's the real reason behind having all these fears and these thoughts in mind, So so let me describe this quickly. This is the soul, our super consciousness. This is the consciousness, and this is the subconsciousness, as you can see. Yeah, obviously. And we human beings are made out of 4 elements. It's the heart, the soul, the body, and the mind. And as you can see, the heart is our emotional part, the soul the spiritual one, and the mind the mental one, and the body the physical one. What I also not found out, but included, was that we have the intellect part, which is mostly the mind. We have the instincts, which is mostly the physical part, our intuition, the emotional side, and the imagination, the spiritual part. Yeah. And what you see, obviously, is that the reason why we feel so controlled is because we are not aware. Like, we live subconsciously, which means, yeah, we don't really see a deeper meaning in our personal lives anymore. And therefore, we act very irresponsible, and we also act very ignorant and intolerant. We feel so much anger and fear and jealousy because we are not happy. If we are honest, we feel lost. We feel, yeah, we don't know anymore who we are. And therefore it is very easy on one side that conscious people take control over us because they know where their place is and they know how they can use empty shells to get what they want. And that's very dangerous. But like, I see that we are not only controlled by other people, because that would mean everyone who is rich or has power is a bad person, and that's not the truth. It's not like that. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or if you don't. If you decide to be a bad person, you are a bad person, you know? Yeah. So we are also controlled by our own negative thoughts, like our past, our diseases, our traumas. We don't know how to let go of something which is keeping us small and holding us down. And also all these opinions other people have about us, they don't define us. It's not who we are. It's just an opinion, you know? Someone thinks something about you based on his experiences, his circumstances, his situation and place and position in life. It has really nothing to do with you. Yeah, so that's what you see. And also, like, union, the word we find in everything here, for example, and means, yeah, simply the opinion. That's why it's super easy that conscious people can take control over them, but also, like, there are some people out there who have figured out life, not totally, but like a little bit more. I've met people when I was traveling who they knew their purpose and they were so passionate about life. It was simply amazing, and it blew my mind and motivated me to find out for us how we can, yeah, achieve that too. So what I want to do is to help us is I want to build a bridge to change this situation that we're living subconsciously without any meaning, very restless and rude, because our society doesn't have to be that way. And I have also 2 younger siblings, and when I ask them, what do you like in life? What makes fun for you? They don't know. And that scares me, because how can't you not know, you know? Like, they are so much like living in their visual online world. And I'm not against technology at all, but it's like I feel like they escape more and more and spend so many hours online instead of, yeah, thinking about themselves or going out in the nature. Like, when I remember how it was when I grew up, I was always outside, and now it's not like that. Sometimes 2 years old, they know how to use a phone which is weird if you ask me. So anyway, I want to build the bridge with doing this. I hope you can see it. What I see as a solution is to include emotional and spiritual awareness classes in school. Because I believe if we don't start to get back on track, to find our roots and start from the very, very early beginning of humanity, or again, we will be lost forever. And especially the further generation, like the youth and the unborn youth, because they will be our society in a few years. And it's so scary and dangerous if we don't try to prevent common diseases and help them. We need to protect them more, because otherwise the mess will just increase. And not only the mess, also the diseases like the depression rate and the health issues. It does not has to be like that. So yeah, this is my mission. 1 second. Yeah, so I hope you can see it. I will read it out loud anyway. So what my vision is for our society, it's equality in unity with diversity, to protect and strengthen the dignity of humanity, to build a society where independent individuals can live peacefully together in harmony and democracy. Because I honestly don't accept and believe that our society has to be the way it is today. Like the loss of values and manners and respect and tolerance, like all these things, I feel like we don't know anymore how to live as a human being, and we forgot how to live in a community. Like, we're more connected than ever before, caused by the internet and everything. But like in reality, to me, it feels like everyone is isolating themselves instead of trying to build real life relationships, connections, and communicate daily with others, because this is so important. It's like one of the essences for human beings. Yeah, so I have created this. It's like my vision of a human being in balance. Yeah, where do I start? So I believe we need to focus more on what's inside, like the heart and the soul. I believe the heart is kind of the center from everyone, and we removed it because we were only focusing on an intellect education. So we focused on this part, like teaching knowledge and logic, which is not that bad at all. But if we only focus on this, it goes down. And then we have what we saw before. So the subconscious is down and the consciousness is here. So there will exist control, not only by other people, but by opinions, by their own fears and doubts. So it has to be in balance. So we can't only focus on improving our intellect, this part. We need to start to find back to our beginnings, which means we need to educate and first of all discover again our intuition. We need to learn to listen to the inner voices inside of our head, because I still believe in the good of everyone and the good in us all as a society. So if we would find our intuition back, this world could really be such an amazing place. And yeah, I quickly want to say that the intellect, like a person can be highly educated, but that doesn't mean this person is intelligent, because real intelligence is created and based on experiences, real life experiences, because only if we really experience something, it is connected with us personally. So for example, I don't know, if you have some salt and you try it, you know how it tastes salty. But if you only describe to a person how it tastes, then you can say, yeah, it's salty, and the person knows, okay, it's salty. But the person doesn't know that if you take too much salt, you can't eat your dish anymore, you know? So there's the difference. And I believe that most of the mess is created because people just repeat something they've heard, or something they got taught, without even questioning and trying to double check it if it's really the truth or not. And yeah, so if we start to listen more to our intuition, as you can see, we would get imbalance. So I still believe that, yeah, our physical appearance, like our body, yeah, that's what we all see from one another. And like our mind, our brain is also, yeah, it's just in our head, you know? So I think this is like, these are the basics. So that's what we all have. Yeah. And to focus more on this, we need to start developing the right part of the mind more. Like the left part of the mind is responsible for very logical things, like all the things all these intellect persons have. Like they are very logical, rational, very calculative, very strict, something like that. But like the right part of the mind, which is connected more with the intuition, this is like the illogical, the creative, the romantic, if you want if you want this. So it is very important that we create this balance, because the left part of the mind is also the one which is currently more developed and educated in the man, and the right part is associated with the women. But like if we break it down to the very first beginning, just a human being, like we have all the same things.